Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is the Sane Society, based on a book by Eric Fromm, published in 1950s. And you can call me 10 o'clock scholar today. And I want to run something by y'all, fam. I want to run something by the fam to see am I a member of the Sane Society or not. I can be off like anybody else. Okay, let's get right into it. Well, first off, how's everybody out there? Let me thank those who come here and support me with the likes and the subscribing. I got, oh man, close to 2,000 subscribers over the just few years I've been here, about a couple. And I don't get much. When I first started off, they got me having 30 seconds. I had to be creative, y'all. Those 30 seconds. I got thousands of views in those 30 seconds. Then it went to 1 minute. Same thing. I was killing it. Then after a few months, they finally let me have the unlimited time. I could go live. That was a great day. But then, when I had a lot to say, I didn't really have a lot of audience. So I become comfortable with that because I'm a member of the Sane Society. And so it's a few people here. That means, hey, the rest of everybody else not part of the society I'm in. So I say I'm in the sane society. They say I'm in the insane society. So have you had that happen to you? People don't want to be a part of your company. Start saying something wrong with you. It just could be, it just may be something wrong with them. Do you think? I've always been a pariah, meaning I don't think like most people think. I think they think crazy. Give an example. I'm getting to the heat of my topic now. Thank y'all for standing by. I like to take my time and weed out the ones who are not patient enough to listen to me. So I won't be giving my pearls to swine. I'll be giving to the people who are patient and can wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. Give you an example of why I say I'm in the same society and a lot of people not. Remember this UN vote they had, a few weeks ago? Or was it last week? About the John Mahama, the president of Ghana, had this UN, was it resolution or something about the slavery trade? The Atlantic slave trade, the most horrible incident in history. Now you know why a lot of people abstain, right? You know why? Because in their mind, that was not the greatest event in history, the most terrible event in history. The Holocaust was. So they can't go against that. That's, in my opinion, why they're sustained, because they have to keep the record straight. But that's another reason why these people voted for the African slave trade. Now, I'm going to tell you why I think they're insane. Those who support the idea that this was the worst autocracy in history, they're not a part of the Sane Society. Why? Because there's no proof that that actually happened. Nobody has verified that you can ship millions of people across the waters in wooden boats. And in that longer trip, everybody be dead because of the waste accumulation. Where you gonna keep the water? You got all these people on the ship. And the way they was packed like sardines, man, they be dead in a few weeks, defecating on each other, defecating on each other. So I don't believe that happened. I believe what most likely happened is that you had the 12 years a slave, where people was hijacked from their homes and they kidnapped down to taken down south to work the plantations. Yeah, that's most what happened, because we was already here. Now the slavery part, the worst slavery, in my opinion, came after the civil rights movement, because I'm one of the few people who remember what it was like before the civil rights. Had our own, we had our own neighborhoods, our own communities. We had everything we needed. We had 2 movie theaters owned. Right now, it's a celebration to say black owned. We own everything. I grew up with that, man. That was a beautiful day. We owned schools. We had our own schools. So the slavery began, the real slavery, the worst part of slavery, began then, in my opinion. And this is a slavery where you don't even know you're a slave, because the generations come by and they're taught a false history. So what's worse? Living in slavery and not knowing it, supporting your own slavery, being robbed of your identity, your God, your religion, and not knowing it. Your children growing up not having any purpose because they don't know who they are. They think they are black people. Now, me, that's slavery. Loss of identity. That's the real slavery. All that other stuff they talk about didn't even happen. And if you can prove to me it happened, I'll listen to you. But remember now, who's telling you this story? You got to remember the source of your information, your knowledge. Do you think the man who don't treat you right, who made you prisoners of war in your own country, made you foreigners in your own land, you could think he's going to tell you the truth about your history? You were going to let him tell you the story about your history? I'm going to tell you how crazy that is. I'll give you a good example. You got a lot of commentators now. They love to talk about our great performers, our great musicians, singers. But a lot of them don't even know how to pronounce their names. They don't know anything about them. So why are they uh, commenting on our performers? That should be something restricted to us as a community. You have foreigners celebrating our heroes like we don't exist. We don't celebrate our own heroes. Something wrong with that. It makes you look like you too dumb to recognize your own greatness. Why do they do that? Why do we allow them to do that? If I want a history of Elvis Presley, I want somebody from his community because they would know all about Elvis Presley. I'm not going to go get someone who's don't know anything about their culture to tell me about Elvis Presley. No, that don't make sense. That's a form of enslavement of the mind, the worst kind. And they think it's okay to allow other people to talk about your history. So, am I talking about the Sane Society or not? Let me know in the chat. Because silence is acquiescent, meaning if I don't get anything from y'all, I'm going to go with what I believe. Okay? So, yeah. There's things worse than death, people. There's things that are worse than death. There can be generations of loss, knowledge of self. To me, that's worse than death. Having children and making them slaves to support their own enslavement. Living slaves don't even know it. Cash cow, that's the term I wanted to say. Being a cash cow for hundreds of years and don't even know it. You're somebody's cash cow, meaning everybody benefit off of your labor but you. That's worse than death because you're supporting your own poverty, so to speak. They got so much money they don't know what to do with it, so they spend it on sports and games. They're not going to spend it on you and uplift you. Well, you don't have a community because that's been destroyed. And they don't want to do anything to try to bring you back to they, you know what I'm talking about, Jeff's people, Jeff's gang. They don't want to do anything to bring you back to your coming back, having your own community. No, they took all this centuries to destroy it. Why would they bring back? Matter of fact, they destroyed it so many times. They say, hey, they keep coming back. How can we keep them from building their own communities? Something never been done in history before. How do you genocide a people who refuse to die? You integrate them into your community. That way, they'll always be at a disadvantage. They'll always be with people who hate them. And you talk about slavery, man, this is worse than slavery. Hated around the world because you don't produce anything for yourself. You wonder why you're not respected around the world? You're a joke. You don't even know it. And you talking about slavery? That's worse than death, in my opinion. Of course, I'm in the Sane Society. What about you?